Hey guys, it is Ben, aka the Fuse Box. I have not done one of these in a long while. It is time to kick the rocks and launch this thing. Yeah, I am doing a review of a book. I know. You thought that those days were well behind us. I did too. I have gotten back into the game. It's time to do some more edited videos with my awesome sound wave thingy in the middle and my pictures that I am not able to edit and make move or interesting because I am retarded when it comes to that sort of editing. I'm a basic bitch editor. Now that that preamble's out of the way, it's time for me to get into the first book that I will be reviewing of the year. I am of course talking about Soltac. Soltac is written by a buddy of the channel, Craig White, a.k.a. Mad Ruth Comix. His campaign offered the first 3 issues of his comic compiled into a compilation known as Betrayal Volume 1, and he also offered issue 4 known as Arise on this campaign. I am going to do my best to avoid being spoilery. I think that you all should read this. I think it is a good book. However, I do have my criticisms, which will be the second part of this overview. First off, let's give a brief little summary about issues 1 through 4 here. So Soltac takes place about 3,000 years from now, and a former soldier turned bounty hunter comes out of soldier retirement in order to investigate a snafu with a reactor. I honestly could not understand a lot of what was going on in that part. I'm kind of retarded when it comes to technological jargon. I'm assuming anybody who is slightly familiar with engineering would be able to follow along. This former soldier has been hired by his former general to track down the heir of the Ashinko Corporation and assassinate her because she is believed to have been a terrorist responsible for millions of lives. So our boy goes out and does some investigating, and things are not quite that straightforward. I'm not going to give away anything else because I want you to read these. Mad Ruth has taken down the campaign for now, but I believe he will be doing an issue number 5 because issue number 4 ended on a cliffhanger. If he does not release issue number 5, I encourage all of you to go out and protest and to riot and revolt until he releases issue 5. Now, let's get into the positives of this book. Number 1, the artwork. The artwork is freaking incredible in this book. Some of the best artwork I have seen in indie comics. There are usually pages in these types of comics where you would expect to see like maybe a little bit of laziness by the artist, like, oh, this page, like not too much is going on, so he kind of does it really quick. I didn't see a single thing like that in this book. Every single panel is primo. I mean, golden. The artwork blew me away. I love every single bit of it. The story overall is very complex, and I love complexity in stories. The world building is very well fleshed out. I love the design of the main character, especially when he's in his mercenary getup. His look was so badass. He was such a renegade. You could say that this was the genesis of a renegade. No, it really wasn't. He'd been a mercenary for a while now, so yeah, this wasn't his genesis. I just had to work in an Outlaw Nights reference somewhere. But yeah, the Ronin warrior is freaking awesome looking, and she's sexy as hell. The best part about this story to me is how it incorporates hyper-intelligent apes, a couple of cybernetic ferrets that hack into things and set off bombs and are mischievous, and laser sword Ronin warriors and samurai. This is everything you could want in a comic, really. If I haven't reiterated it enough, I'm gonna reiterate it again. Get yourself a copy of Soltac as soon as it's available because, yeah, you're gonna love this. However, I have a couple of issues here, so now it is time for us to get into the negatives. I don't like really doing the negatives, but I have to because it's about building and growing as storytellers. So I did not like how it felt like the main character really hasn't been super fleshed out. We got kind of the basic overview of who he is and what he used to do, but I still don't feel like I completely know this guy. I feel like there's something more. Now, Craig could be planning to expand on this in future issues. Until I see that, I'm kind of like, what's going on here? A lot of the dialogue where he's trying to do snappy one-liners in the middle, or little jokes in the middle of combat, a lot of it feels very cheesy and falls kind of flat for me. I think a lot of the moments that were supposed to be really funny, I just kind of smirked at, you know. Yeah, comedy's hard to do, and dialogue is something that really needs to be, you really got to work on dialogue. I have to work on my own dialogue. I have been stumbling through this whole damn thing. But yet, it's important to really kind of get a natural sound or a natural flow. Try to work on, if you're going to be witty, you got to be really snappy with it. So yeah, it's just, a lot of that fell kind of flat. A lot of the character development felt very rushed, very quick. It was kind of like, okay, this is who this character is. This is what they need to do. A couple pages later, bam, we've done it. So yeah, that's my main issue in terms of the way the characters interact with each other. In issue 3 in particular, I felt like a lot of that was very rushed. Get through that issue. It's like, okay, let's get to some of the good stuff. And it's like, no. You gotta stop. We gotta take the time, build this out. And yeah, it feels like the main story itself has kind of gone pretty quick. Now, I'm not super sure. I forgot if Craig told me how many issues he was planning to do for this, but I think this series needs to be longer. I'm gonna say somewhere around like 8, 9, even maybe 10 issues to really get this story rolling, because it felt like we kind of rushed to the final boss. I don't like rushing in a story. Let's get our characters established and let's have them go through their own personal growth in the midst of the overall plot. Yeah, that being said, really the only other thing I can say, most of it was well crafted. In the very beginning of issue 1, I was getting a little confused. The beginning was kind of clunky for me to get through, but there was a lot of numbers talk. There was a lot of going to vector point 0014342, and it's like, okay, it was kind of straining me for a minute there. But once that part's over, the story really gets rolling when we get introduced to our main character. And there was one typo that I came across. I try not to be too harsh with that, but I feel like when we're doing professional comics, we need to be on top of it, making sure our sentences are grammatically correct. Do not follow my verbal example in this video. Those are really the only complaints that I have. Other than that, I really enjoy this world that Craig has created. I especially really enjoyed, there's a twist involving with the Ronin, Misha Otsu, and her father, and I'm not gonna explain any more than that because I don't want to spoil it. I also enjoyed it when our main character, Dexter, faces off with a giant AI construct brain, and I really enjoyed the AI's dialogue. I thought that was very well done. I love esoteric dialogue, and that's what that felt like. So all in all, if I have to grade this, I am going to give it a 7.9 out of 10. I wanted more character work within it. There was some character work. It wasn't completely devoid of it, but I wanted that a bit more fleshed out. Maybe a little less of the overly complicated world building. To have more time to kind of piecemeal a lot of that out, and at the same time have more moments with our characters interacting with each other. But yeah, I highly recommend getting this. Be on the lookout for Soltac Volume 5 coming to Indiegogo or Fund My Comic, depending on how he wants to do it. Find Mad Ruth Studios on Twitter. Give him a follow. Let's see where this series goes. Before I get rolling, on Indiegogo and Fund My Comic, Outlaw Nights issue number 2 is still available. It is in demand. Click on the link in the description of this video. Get yourself a copy. Party if you have not already. I have currently fulfilled all outstanding orders. Everything has been mailed off, so I am ready to sell you more books. So let's get this thing going. We are almost done with the Year of the Outlaw. Let's make sure as many people as possible get on board this ship. If you like anything I had to say, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And hell, if you didn't like anything I had to say, go ahead and hit the dislike button. Because whether you like me or you hate me, it doesn't matter. It feeds me. I'm on YouTube. I crave your attention. I don't care if it's positive or negative. Thank you so much for joining me once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk to you all later.